All right, so we know in this day and age, especially now with the whole COVID outbreak and everything that's been going on, everyone is becoming more and more accustomed to using video to engage with their community, speak to clients, to network, basically to do everything. And when it comes to marketing your business and your service and whatnot, getting comfortable on video is actually becoming super important. So this video is going to give you my 7 top tips to really nail feeling and looking and showing up amazing and really being confident on video. I've been a personal branding photographer for a long time, and so I know the power of, photography and of stills to, convey a message and to, create a sense of a connection between you and your potential clients. But I also realize the importance of video to do this and how quickly your potential client can really gauge whether you're the right person that they see as a good fit to work with. So video is a super duper powerful tool and it's a great one to master. So here's a few practical tips. But before I begin with those, I just wanted to start by also saying, we judge ourselves more harshly than anyone else does. What we see is a little flaw in our nose, or, sometimes my lip goes up in a funny way. I can't remember which side. And that's, I've looked back on my videos and gone, oh my God, that's really weird. And it's made me feel a bit awkward. But what I've come to realize is that other people aren't noticing those things. So when you show up on video, yes, you'll have all sorts of anxiety. It'll bring up all sorts of fears. But just remember that you judge yourself more harshly than anyone else will. Believe me, they won't even notice the things that you're thinking everyone is going to see about you. Okay, so top 7 tips. First of all, I would look at camera angles. So that's really important because it creates the best angle for you in the most flattering way for your face, but also it creates more of a connection between the camera and yourself. So for instance, if I was to now put the camera up here, which is where I see a lot of people sometimes putting their camera. For a start, it can mean that you'll be the viewer is actually looking up somebody's nostrils quite often. It can also mean that you're seeing a lot of this, ceiling and things that are above your head, which isn't really where the main, focus should be when you're doing videos. Sometimes you'll see people, they've got the video way down here and it even cuts out people's heads. So where you place the camera angle is really important. I like to put it roughly around eye level or slightly above. Somewhere around here is good because that's going to kind of just create the most sort of flattering angle. People aren't looking up and down too much at you. It's just a nice, really flattering position to be in. It tends to mean as well you get a nice jawline rather than when it's tilted up, and sometimes you get to see lots of these bits under here. So it's just a nice way, a nice sort of angle to position yourself. I would also look at lighting. Now, lighting is super important. So what you want is even lighting. You want to have a fairly consistent light over the face, and so that it eliminates a lot of the shadows that you can sometimes get under the eyes. And that can, so create a nice sort of smooth, even lighting. So lighting, now it's a big one. But don't let lighting be the thing that scares you. Don't let lighting be the thing that makes you not get on video. Just simply being near a window is honestly going to be fine. And, most of the time when you've seen me doing my lives or anything like that, I've generally just used the natural light coming in from a window. Today, I've actually got on a bit of a strobe light, and it's very common for people to use things like ring lights. You can pick them up super duper cheaply on eBay. I don't think you do need to spend a lot when it comes to lighting for video. Keep it simple is the answer. So, natural light is fine, is great. Just get as close as you can to windows. Maybe, make sure all the lights are on around the house. Or if you do want to invest in a little bit of extra lighting, something like a ring light is great. It does give you a little bit more catch light in the eyes. So I'll just show you the difference now. So this is with me with a bit of a light on in the background. And then if I turned it off, let me just turn it off, you'll see the difference here. So that's natural light. So it's really even, really soft. It's very flattering. So there's not a massive deal, difference. It's just that it is nice sometimes to have that little bit of extra burst of light and catch, get those sort of catch lights and that spark in the eye, which I like. But I'm a photographer, so I look at these things more than other people do. The other thing is facial angles. So something I'm always looking out for when I'm photographing my clients is I'm always looking at the right angle. Sometimes, we just have better angles to be, on camera. So it's worth just having a little play and just seeing what works. Sometimes it's also about the hairstyle that you've got. So, just have a little play with angles. And I notice sometimes too, sometimes I've got my head like twisted like this for a lot of the video. And I've sort of realized, okay, all right, it's nice to just keep yourself free flowing, allow yourself to relax and feel free to move a little bit and don't feel like you've just got to be stiff and stuck there either. So yeah, play around with facial angles. Now so point number 4 is look at backgrounds, and that is super duper important as well, because backgrounds can get really distracting. It's funny, I've just seen so many, videos where you'll see this messy kitchen in the background, or I've even seen bathrooms. And okay, surely there's another space you could use. It doesn't have to have anything in the background. It could just be a plain wall. So that is absolutely fine. You just want the attention and the focus to be more closely on you. So that's the most important thing to remember, that the focus is on you. So there's nothing major too distracting. I don't mind a little bit of stuff going on in the background, and hence why you can see a little bit of things going on, because it does allow, the viewer to sort of get a bit more of a sense as to kind of who you are and the kind of environment that, you're used to being in. So it allows them to connect on that level as well. So backgrounds is really super duper important. And the other thing you want to look at, and this is important, point number 5 is look at what you're wearing. Look at the accessories. Look at how it all sort of ties together. So again, it's not too distracting. So what you want is to have some fairly plain outfits in mind. A bit of pattern is okay, but just keep it really minimal, quite subdued. I would stick to fairly simple, fairly plain kinds of fabrics. Nothing too big and bold, or colors that are really bright and kind of off-putting. Big polka dots, big stripes, anything that's sort of like that can actually be quite jarring to the viewer and will again distract the viewer from what you're saying. And same thing with jewelry, just keep it simple. You don't have to overcomplicate this or try and, show up, trying to impress people by having more. The good old saying of less is more, and I believe that is so true for video. The other thing you want to look at is your energy levels. On video, things get brought down more than if you were speaking in person. I'm speaking at a level that's slightly above what I would normally speak like if I was, in a one-on-one conversation. I'm definitely a bit more louder. I'm a bit more higher pitched. I've got a bit more, jazzed up energy going on here, because that translates a lot better on video than if I was just to talk like I'm just meeting someone. Oh, hi, how are you? I'm, chatting with someone at a cafe, and I'm talking just, one-on-one. The energy generally is really low. You don't tend to sound too excited. You try and keep things kind of at a pace and a level where, that you can hear what the other person's saying and there's a to and a fro. but the level is generally a lot more down here. On video, and when you're talking to an audience on video, and when you want to share something that's really, you're passionate about and it's meaningful and you're giving great value, you want to draw the person in, you want to draw the viewer in to really hear the content. And there's no better way than to be a bit energetic, be engaging, really help the viewer to really start to really get jazzed up with you and get passionate along with you. So energy, point number 6, is really important. And I'd also look at pace. It's really easy to get excited and to get pumped up and be on video, but sometimes that can also mean that you're speaking way too fast. And I've seen this over and over. It's really hard to keep up. It's really hard to take in the information. So keeping at a pace that is, where the viewer your audience can really sort of hear what you're saying, and just slowing it down to that little bit of a level where, having those spaces in between points and between what you're saying really does help the, person watching to really take in the information. But ultimately, guys, you just want to speak from the heart. It's about the message. It's not even about you. So as much as we're on video thinking, oh my God, it's all about me, everyone's looking at me, what they're really thinking about is how is this information helping them? So flip it around a little bit, and rather than it being a really scary thing and you start, getting nervous and anxious every time you think about being on video, think of it as actually a vehicle that you can use to help other people and share your message in a way that really allows other people to get excited by what you have to say and the information that you're sharing, and really impact more lives in that way. So I hope these tips have been really helpful. Would love to hear thoughts and everything. You'll have more tips coming your way about this as well. But this is really the top 7 tips. If you just nail these, you're sorted. Okay, bye.